nothing against Patreon, but I'm so happy that I now have like a quarterly income. It's not much, obviously, but it's better than nothing. And speaking of, I have a schedule this month. I actually get to have some weekends off. It's really exciting. And it's going to be fun to work on this, which, as we know, is tangentially related to Patreon and Y24. I've given up trying to pattern a wave on this, it's just not going to happen. But we have scheduled in some really, really fun stuff for that this month. Attempt number 3. Well, there's much less sticking, and that's good. Oh, no, that's way. Okay, not quite going as I was hoping it would. So this is a lot less dire. And so is this. And I'm frankly kind of happy with that. A little bit nervous because I can't see where the chili powder has gone. Even with it concentrated in one single area, there wasn't really that much of a bite to the chili. But I think if I get better at like distribution, that would be really nice. It gave it not really a kick, but it's some flavour. It is 5:30 in the morning, and after just over a week of like having a schedule, I am possibly like 20 pages ahead, which is really nice. In some ways, I also didn't do any of the filming I said I was going to do yesterday, but that's easy to make up. Chapters are a little bit tighter, but we're on track, which is nice. I will, however, say that the mid-core video is really the one that suffered the most from all of the delays, and it was supposed to go up on the 30th. It will now be the 10th, if not later. But we're putting the final touches on the Nivola review. It is my favourite book of the year. It is brutal and fantastic and lovely, and it's publication day, so happy book birthday. It was really nothing like adding work on your CV to the stress of an election night. Oh man, we're not. So we were 3 days out from chapter 1 going up, and I've scrapped it. Yeah. I know, man. I didn't think that the dual perspective thing worked, and I'm still kind of on that. I do prefer where it ends with hers. I don't know, this might go bad as well. So what do we think, folks? Best day yet? So now it has once again been demonstrated to me how bad filming and cooking is at the same time. Let's try again. I am currently writing the first chapter of Keep My Eye on the Chamber Door, this draft. The original first chapters, including part 1 and 2, though part 2 is never finished, is up on the Tales of Devran and Others blog. You can find the link down below. Completely free to read. I don't like what WordPress and Automatic are doing with AI, but you know, it was already up and it's already gone. So I don't think that was cooked properly. Chapter 1 was always messy because right from the beginning the plan was Monday uploads are for X, Tuesday uploads are for Y, and it was split perspective. So we had Alexander and we had Say. And Alexander is someone that I need you to care about more than anyone else. The prologue is for intrigue, Alexander is for the start of a long heartbreak, shall we say. And Say is just, we need her because he doesn't notice. He's really bad at what he does. He's not going to notice. But she does. And it did not work because, like I said, it's split perspective. But in rewriting it, I was like, okay, we need to do his part as a solo chapter, and we need to do her part as a solo chapter because we have to see the build up, and he's just not going to get that at all. And then yesterday it was like, this is not working at all. It has to be Say. We have to open on Say. But then that would be like a chapter for Say, Alexander's chapter, Say's chapter, big reveal at the end of chapter 1. And that totally fucks up the pacing. So we had to rearrange again. I think I've managed to wrangle it now. It's going to be, this new bit and the end of chapter 1 are going to be just like one whole chapter for her. We're not going to have his stuff, which is going to give me such a headache later on because there's stuff that's set up that we really need to dig into at some point, but it's not as immediate a problem, so very sorry future me. We're going to have like calls and we can hear someone in the background, and that's going to be like building up his nodes of connection, and hopefully that's going to work. One of the public free to read posts on my Patreon is keep my eye on the incorrect quotes. It is incorrect quotes for the characters, but there's also like wee graphics that I made. Evelyn has a kind of leathery look to it, but it had to be green for nature. So, you know, I talk a little bit about that. I apparently have a whole document that's like incorrect quotes, which is, yeah. There's one which, you know, I've talked about having to care about Alexander, and it's about Steve and Maria. And Steve says, I really like murder mysteries. And Maria says, I've been a suspect in several murder cases. So yeah, look forward to that in parts 3 or 4. I have the other side, luckily, so I can just match it up with that. We also did a little bit of an oopsie with the length of the other side. I think we had 74 rows in the front piece, and there were 75 on the sides, because I did 74 and then I was like, oh wait, I actually have to finish this off. Whatever, it's hopefully not going to be too visible. It is my first designated day of the month off, so of course I'm vlogging. I'm also going through my emails and like having a look at NetGalley. I do have like actual day off things to do. I wrote this down to read as well, which I'm vlogging, trying to vlog. So you can tell that it's going well, but anyway, this is like my actual fun thing for the moment. While I try not to finish that review or write that chapter or Literally anything else. Also, I do want to point out that this isn't a fear thing. I finished Sedona yesterday, which I had scheduled to finish on Monday, so I'm ahead. So I will give myself a quarter point for yesterday because I did do some stuff that I wasn't supposed to, but I did mostly take the day off because I was very unwell. But there was an attempt, and we love that. The friend who's helping me with the CV, she suggested, oh, maybe look at Waterstones and stuff. And I was like, a 9 till 6 shift, not including like transport times, not great with my chronic fatigue. I don't know about that, though I would love, it turns out they do like, you can email them and ask for like a placement. Like I'm holding off because I want the CV done first, but so we finished Silent Hill Ascension, and it's really interesting to me as someone who's binging and watching someone who's like watching 1 or 2 episodes and then leaving it a week, how much he remembers. I think as someone who's writing serialized fiction, it's really interesting seeing what sticks and what doesn't. Because from my perspective, a lot of things that were quite obvious were not. And I know that's going to be the case again. Me being the author and having like the world building notes. Yeah, it's interesting to think about. Yes! Oh, no. Not quite. Okay, so listen, I'm not going to win MasterChef, but that most improved, surely. And this is so clean compared to usual. Yeah, so I've just edited down the June vlog for the second time. I don't usually edit them twice. Yeah, this is the short one. Man, it sucks because that one ended on knitting and I haven't been able to. The bones are screaming at me, you know? And the project is right there. In better news, however, we got the chapter up and the review up, and so tomorrow we're sorted. The weekend is just going to be reading and binging manga, and it's going to be great. Also, happy anniversary to my fellow Tumblrinas. I felt behind like months ago, but this is making me so emotional. No. I hope. I've heard such amazing things about this. Oh god, I think it's going to rewire my brain. I wasn't gonna, but we're going to hope that the sun stays out. So I think unfortunately that I'm going to have to rename this the Failing to Get My Life Together vlog, which is really weird because I've managed to stay on top of this week. Like today, tomorrow and Friday's posts are done and ready and I don't need to touch them. Wednesday's fine and it's fun. The thing that's kind of really stressing me out is the Carrows review, which is, it will not shut up about like James North, Earl of whatever the fuck, and then you get introduced to the common people, and it's just like, Charlie, he's the barkeep, and like there's a very clear disparity. Some commoners are allowed to have a surname, but mostly it's just what they do. It is supposed to be a caper, and hopefully it's going to get fun. But yeah, I know I'm trying to keep on top of everything, and the videos are not due until the 21st, and I just need to film a few clips for that. And we've got time, we've got time. But I'm also like sleeping for 2 hours. And then waking up and I don't know why. And so nothing is getting done. I've tried so hard to be good today and not be a workaholic. And I kind of have, except there. So I pitched an article. It is a really bad pitch. And I didn't really have anything relevant. I didn't really have anything relevant writing wise, in that, it's really bad, but I did it. Wow. Anyway, I would like to point out, because it's kind of funny, that the pitch I made was on the theme of space, and so I decided to pitch. It is common advice to separate your workspace from your living space, but I have chronic fatigue and I can't do that. This is my sleep space, it's my living space, it is my workspace. And I did all of this just here in bed on my phone, exhausted and kind of my head swimming. I think that's twice in the span of a week, though, that I've put myself forward for something that I don't really think I have a chance at getting, but decided, like, to hell with it anyway, to hell with not feeling confident. So I think that's good. We got food. We are not caught up yet with the schedule, and we're going to have to reorganise it extensively. But it's bad. It's bad. I've been so tired. It's like a weight around my neck. And I've been a little bit loopy for about a week now. I was so excited when I got like 6 views from the UK, and I thought, great. Because I don't usually get a lot of people reading from the UK, and then I realised it's the Scottish BPOC network. It's the place I submitted to. I was really nervous about that, and it got to a point where I'd filled out all of the questions, all of the the pitch and everything, and I just thought, if I don't submit it now, I'm not going to do it. So I did, and then kind of in a panic, I was like, it's done, close all the tabs. Guess who deleted her own pitch? Like, obviously I sent it, but I don't have a copy of my own of it. And I know what the subject was, but it's still... Oh, like the style of writing? That's gone. Good evening. We are about to try a double stockinette stitch for the first time, hopefully with the correct casting on. Yeah, we learned that this is a stitch that is flatter, and hopefully that will get the Patreon project going. I've been really looking forward to this show, and I'm going to take the opportunity to sit down and watch it. A lot of people have kind of made fun of its premise, but like as a love at first sight person, no. Significantly less exciting when you open the box and there's only 4 of these. Why is the box so big? So I'm quite often torn between spoilers shouldn't ruin a thing and I'm a nosy bitch and I'm here to watch the relationship develop. I know it's going to develop, so spoilers are fine. And I looked up the tag and it's an Maki manga. So I don't remember it, but there's a good chance that I read like a fan translation years ago, which is so funny to me. It's also very like Mischievous Kiss, which I loved. Like I watched the Taiwanese adaptation. I tried to watch season 2, but I just couldn't find all of the episodes. I watched the manga. I started watching the Japanese one, but again, episodes were hard to come by. And also, it kind of made. I thought it was a wee bit weird because, like, 2 episodes in, I noticed that the leads had, like, the exact same face shape, and I was like, you look a little bit like siblings, and I'm not. Which is weird because I like love Crimson Peak and Under the Pendulum Sun, you know, so. Anyway, I'm also doing a read all my manga vlog, which is going very slowly and badly. But it's just like I'm being punted in the face repeatedly by nostalgia. So in that well-mind vein of 30 days, I can read a book in 30 days, we have now 5 books to review. And it is going to happen. There's enough time, but I do wish that I would stop doing this to myself. Also, arguably, it's 6 because I do want to try and submit to that place as a freelance reviewer. Don't know how to feel about the Waterstones placement thing. It's still really appealing. I think like a day after I mentioned it the first time, they got in a massive fuck up and fired an employee possibly for their personal views on Twitter, which, God. But also, unsurprisingly, no one is interested in my CV. So I guess I'm stuck making like $10, £7 something every 3 months, which is not great. Downfall has ruined me. So I did it. I applied to a position. God, I feel like it was an internship position, so you don't have to be too qualified. But I feel in my heart of hearts that even if no one else applied, that they would just like quietly take the position off. Because I feel like I did that bad with it. It was a position in Edinburgh too, so I did actually have to look up like, would it be possible to go there? Would it be possible? How would I do this? And I had to look up like a place to rent and like a bus pass and all that. Oh, and the calculations were good in terms of money, and it's kind of It's worse because if it was just applying to a job, it's like, it's fine if I don't get it. But this is like, I had to look at it as like a job and a lifestyle change, and it's in my head now and I just feel bad. Also, the chronic fatigue has been kicking my ass this month, so I missed out on a few freelance positions that I really wanted. My reviews are like 1,000 words long, and so when it said like it needs to be 200 words, I was like, oh no. And I just could not handle that level of like editing and re-editing, and yeah, it's gone now. I also had to back out on a review because listen, I have reviewed books for book tours that I don't like before, but I've been able to write balanced reviews for them. I don't have anything positive at all to say about this book, and so I had to back out. I think I'm still going to get my $10, which is like £7 in October, but like we're not doing great. So when I was like, I'm going to watch Downfall, and then I'm going to start campaign 3 again, so that I know what's happening, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to catch up to like 98 episodes in the span of a week, but the fact that I've only watched 2. I did get to talk to Skills Development Scotland though. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Mostly, I'm just really, really glad that I that I didn't have to listen to that music for long, because that's honestly one of the worst ones. I knew from like the beginning of the month that this was going to be a get my life on track kind of vlog, which we probably did not do because I was really not present mentally. But I wouldn't say so. I do have all of my like 5 posts scheduled for next month. I've 1 out of 4 reviews finished for next month. Things are just a mess. And I'm still really disappointed about Edinburgh. I swear to God, I will have a day out vlog for you next month. I say, like I did not promise Y24 to have bought the things. But this one I can actually keep, I'm sure of it. We are getting back on track though, so from me and me and me and me, bye.